The men are not okay. And I don't know if they've ever been okay, but I know when the nail was put in the coffin for me was when I think about a year ago, I was talking to my dad and he told me that and he was like so proud. And I was like, so you guys her.
Do you think that her father ever taught her about consent? No, of course he didn't. Because he doesn't know what it means. He doesn't acknowledge it.
And my dad is a real ass man. Like, I'll listen to him about anything he says, to be honest, because he's a real one. Basically, he told me to find someone that loves me enough to be loyal and make the conscious decision to choose me and be loyal to me, basically like 95% of the time.
And her father, like, grooming her to be abused in a relationship with a man, although wild, not uncommon. Raise your hand if you're one of those people that think that, like, fathers, make a difference in the child's life by default. Like, just because a man is present or just because a father is there, then, by default, the child is going to fare better in life than if that father were to be toxic and he were removed from the situation. Raise your hand if you're one of those people. Okay. I'm not one of those people. I think that toxicity breeds toxicity. So if there is a toxic man or woman in a child's life, and they have a lot of influence over that child, inevitably that child will be negatively impacted by that parent's or by that person's toxicity. So when people run around here and they be talking about the importance of a two-parent home and all of that stuff, um, trust me, I get it. I believe it. That's one of the one of my driving factors in being present and whatnot in the lives of my children and my wife, because I am a firm believer that um that leads to the best outcomes when both parents are invested, right? But both parents have to be invested. That's the problem. That's the thing, right? And far too many times the man isn't as invested or invested at all. And they end up hurting the children. And we don't know. We don't know. It's hard to gauge it. Honestly, it is. It's hard to gauge it because I don't necessarily grade it on, like, oh, the child didn't end up being on drugs and the child didn't, and the child has the child is a functioning adult. I mean, yeah, but what I mean? Like, those things definitely are far more likely to happen if a mother and a father is present. They don't even have to be in the same home, but just if a mother and a father is present and neither parent is like extremely abusive physically and emotionally, then yeah, I can see the kids faring better, no doubt about it. But my thing is we need to be raising the healthiest versions of human beings. And it's hard to do that when men in particular are not healthy. Like, in general, men are not healthy. We're not healthy as a class, as a group, right? And fathers pass on a lot of bullshit to their children. I talk about all the time how men influence other men, but men pass on crazy amounts of trauma to their daughters consistently.
The men are not okay. And I don't know if they've ever been okay, but I know when the nail was put in the coffin for me was when I think about a year ago, I was talking to my dad and he was like reliving his glory days. And he was telling me how he was seeing this girl. Now, they weren't like formally dating or in a relationship or anything, but, they would go places together, spend time together, and, do grown stuff together. And he said after a while, he found out that she was also seeing his friend in the same way. And he knew for a fact that she knew that they were friends. So he wanted to get his get back. So what he did was he kept it player. He acted like, he didn't know anything. He was none of the wires. He kept it pushing. He kept it player. So, she's like, oh, I want to see you. I want to see you. He's like, cool, I'm going to see you. So he pulls up to her crib, but he also brings his friend with him. And he tells him, wait in the car. So my dad goes up to her apartment. He's visiting her for a little bit. They're drinking. They're spending time together. And then they start, getting to the whoop-de-whoop. So he says right before they start, he was like, hold on for a second. And he leaves the apartment. He tells his friend to come up, and he comes back with his friend. And my dad tells me like, oh, she was so shook, like she looked so nervous, she looked so scared. And I was just like, aha, like, yeah, like we know, we both know. So like, what you gonna do now? What you gonna do now? And he was telling me like, yeah, she was so scared because she got found out. Aha, she got found out. And he was like, but you know what she did? Yeah, I made her do both of us. And he told me that, and he was like so proud. And I was like, so you guys raped her? And he's like, nah, nah. And I'm like, but you did though. And I'm sure to this day, he'll say, no, that's not what happened. But the things that he described, I'm like, that was not consensual. You said she was frightened. You said that she looked nervous. She was afraid. And, and then you made her have intercourse with both of y'all. And he's like, well, she used to do it with him and she did it with me. So what's the point? What's the difference between doing both of us? Consent. Consent is everything. Like if you found that out and you really wanted to do it with her and your friend at the same time, you could have just called ahead and asked her, hey, I know you seen my friend, but we trying to do something. What you trying to do? And if the answer is no, it's no. It's not no, oh, you gonna spring it up on her. She's shook, she's terrified, and now she probably feels like fight or flight. She gotta see this through in order to ensure her safety. The men are not okay. Some of your dads aren't okay. My dad's not okay.
A father telling a daughter, first of all, a father telling a daughter that story is crazy. I'm saying just off the like, that's just a crazy story to tell, regardless of the rape part. But then you add in the rape, and it's like, what the hell? There's so many problems with that, like the fact that he did that he didn't understand that it was rape, because we live in a rape culture, and rape is so normalized that if a woman, in a man's mind, if a woman doesn't tell you it's rape, then you won't identify it as such. Like what you did was wrong. He knows what he did was wrong. He knows it. But he also assumes that like nobody will pass judgment on him, because in our society, we don't view those things as necessarily bad or extreme, even, because that's how extreme men are. Like the Overton window usually describes politics, right? But the Overton window also describes rape, which in theory, describing rape would be related to politics, but I'll set that aside. The way that we view rape in this country is like a woman being like, no, stop, no, no, stop, like, and then you're raping her, okay? A woman saying no once, and then you saying, come on, babe. Come on, babe. No, or not even like that, like, no, I'm good. No, come on, babe, not tonight. Come on, man. You know you want it. Just let me put the tip in. Just let me eat it. Let me lick it. Just let me lick it. I promise. Pinky, I promise. I just want to lick it. I just want to lick it. Right. And then finally she goes, okay, you can lick it. And then you lick it and then you put it in her. And then she don't stop you. You know what I'm saying? She don't necessarily say no, but she already told you no. She only told you can lick it. She never told you could put it in. You put it in and she lets you do it. Right? She doesn't yell out no, I'm saying. In your mind, you're thinking, got her. I knew she wanted it. In her mind, she's thinking, I might as well just let it happen because I don't want him to be mad at me. It doesn't even have to be like she fears for her life or she fears like you're going to rape her. You could be her boyfriend. You could be her husband. It's just a lot of women just are taught to accept that behavior from men because the Overton window for rape is, again, shifted so far right. It's so far right that if a woman ain't kicking and screaming and scratching and clawing, it ain't rape in the eyes of men. And then in a lot of women too. But in reality, no means no. People say that it don't actually internalize it. We don't really know what that means. No means no. One time, no, done, shut it down. No means no, done, shut it down, walk away. Do something else. No, not tonight. Okay, can we kiss? I still want to be intimate. Can we cuddle? Can I rub on your boob? Can I touch your butt? And you know what I mean? Like there's other ways. Can we talk? Can we talk eye to eye, face to face? All types of ways you could be intimate with your partner. Um, outside of sex. But again, the way that we view rape, because we live in a rape culture, this video is, if this don't prove that we live in a rape culture, I don't know what does. What will. But yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's happening. And a lot of daddies be passing on these terrible, terrible characteristics and traits. And they be conditioning their daughter. So when we wonder why, now she's good, but I'm just saying, but imagine if she had heard this story when she was 15. You see what I'm saying? And if do you think that her father ever taught her about consent? No, of course he didn't. Because he doesn't know what it means. He doesn't acknowledge it. He doesn't acknowledge consent. So she learned it, you know what I mean? I'm sure she had to learn it from her mother or on her own, but she was never taught it by her father. You know? And what if she didn't really understand consent, even at her age? Because she's been in relationship after relationship with a man where she just let a man do whatever because, nobody told her otherwise, then this would confirm that. She would be like, oh, okay, even my daddy is doing that. Okay, so I don't feel, I'm gonna let my, whatever my husband does, whatever my boyfriend does, whatever these men I'm dating do, it's acceptable because even my daddy did it. Like, you know, it's not, father's gotta be better, man.
And my dad is a real ass man. Like, I'll listen to him about anything he says, to be honest, because he's a real one. And basically, he was telling me that a man that loves you for real is not going to cheat on you. They do have urges, but if they love you, first of all, the urge is not just going to come up every weekend. The urge comes up like he said probably like every 3 to 6 months because it's like in their nature, kind of. So they get the urge to kind of like cheat, but they don't do it. They make a conscious choice not to act on it, and the urge eventually goes away, right? So he was saying
every 3 to 6 months, a man wants to cheat on his wife or his woman. You know, that's not a lot to you. Every 3 to 6 months. Man, that's crazy. Every 3 to 6 months is a lot. That's crazy. No, I disagree with that. Also, it is definitely not in our nature to cheat. It's not natural to cheat. That's no. It's like saying it's natural to lie or it's natural to steal or anything like this. These aren't natural things. These aren't things that like these are usually they're cause and effect. So people steal usually when they don't have their needs met. See what I'm saying? People cheat usually because they don't have their needs met or, other things, but it's not natural. There are natural reactions to certain circumstances, I will agree. But just in and of itself, to cheat is not natural. That's not a natural thing. Absolutely not.
like the same thing with fasting, right? When you first start fasting, maybe the first couple of days you're excited to commit to that, so you're like doing it, and then you start getting the urge, right, to eat a cake. Now, if you decide to eat the cake, you kind of already broke your fast, you're going to keep on eating cake. But if you get past the urge, then you'll continue your fast. Now, sometimes you might slip up and eat.
It says pause to read. So that's what I'm going to do. Pause to read. It says, I would even say, because some people be eating too much cake before the fast, that was their lifestyle. They're making more of a lifestyle change and will basically relapse rather than getting back on track with healthy eating. If you already eat healthy, you may slip up and eat something unhealthy, feel guilty, and then go back to eating healthy. So basically, if you are a whore, if you are a promiscuous person before you got into a relationship, you're more prone to cheating. But if you weren't, if you were chaste before, then when you got into a relationship, you're less likely to cheat. And even if you do slip up, you're more likely to be like, you know what, that wasn't right. Let me get back on track, which I call bullshit, but okay.
Cake, but then you get back on your fast, right? But depending on the person, that could break the fast completely. I was with my mom for a long time, since they were like 14 years old, and then she passed away when she was 32. My dad is like 50 now, and he has a new girlfriend, and he was telling me that he's been with her for 2 years and he has not cheated on her at all. This is why he was explaining it to me. He was like, I have not cheated on her. Like, I would be honest with you and tell you, like, oh yeah, like, you feel me? But he said he has not cheated on her in 2 years. And he said that's because he does not want to. Like, he's had
Whoop-de-doo.
urges, and he's made a conscious decision to do what he's doing and not be cheating on his girl. Now, he also said, like, if he did make the mistake of doing it, shouldn't be a deal breaker because, you feel me, he's been resisting the urge numerous times, you feel me? He's been loyal for 2 years. So if he did slip up on year 3, year 4, it's like, you feel me?
Men be wait. So what I'm hearing is, and this is why I hate the it's natural argument. It's very unsafe to have that argument. I never allow it. I never allow that talking point in any space that I'm in. So it's natural for men to violate their relationship. That's natural. So when I say that men are terrible, and then y'all say not all men, explain to me why men are running around here saying that that men it's natural for men to want to violate their relationship and disrespect their partners, which would mean most men ain't, which would mean men ain't shit, right? Whatever. Then if he does do it and he calls it a mistake, it's not a mistake. You don't accidentally fuck somebody else. That is a conscious decision. You know, I'll maybe in some alternate universe, you got, somebody drugged you or something like that, and then you ended up doing something you didn't fucking, whatever. Fine, I'll give you that. But outside of that, no, it's not a mistake. You made a conscious decision to sleep with somebody because usually, especially if you're a man, you don't just have access to a woman like that. It's usually like, like a lead up, right? Unless you pay. I mean, and then if you're paying for it, again, not a mistake. So it really don't matter. So first it's a mistake. Then it's like, and even if I do, so what? Because I've been sober for 2 years. So if I drink, or if I you know what I mean? If I fall off the wagon, then so what? Whoop-de-doo, because I have been fighting the urge for 2 years. I am owed this as a man. 2 years, my 2 measly ass years. 2 measly ass years. Wow. The bar is, I mean, we say it, but it's it's below hell. Like it is below, you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. It's not even in Middle Earth. It's in the deepest, darkest dungeons of Earth, in the gulag for me. This is wild. This is crazy. This is her daddy, by the way, telling her this.
So basically, he told me to find someone that loves me enough to be loyal and make the conscious decision to choose me and be loyal to me, basically like 95% of the time. So if we're together for 10 years, 5 slip-ups. So once every 2 years. But also he told me if your man does cheat on you, one, you shouldn't find out. And the way that you should find out shouldn't be from him liking pictures on Instagram or texting bitches. Somebody should have had to come and tell you, because he should have been so concerned about losing you, values you so much to where he didn't want you to find out that he's not taking bitches on dates. He's not buying bitches flowers. He's not making her feel like she's the second girlfriend, making her feel like she could call at any hour, she could text at any hour, and they ain't gotta hide shit, basically. He said because at that point, they don't care if they get caught. They don't care how you feel about it. They're cheating because that's what they want to do, and they don't like, or they just so dumb that they don't think they're gonna get caught. But it's just like he said, it's like low cheating. Like if you so thirsty to cheat that you like a bitch's pictures and you're DMing a bunch of bitches, your girl go through your phone and she see you DMing a bunch of bitches, hard eyes, kissy faces, and talking through the DM and liking all these pictures. you're like low grade cheating. Like you're a loser, basically. You're lame as fuck. That's what my dad told me. He said, that's what lame niggas do. He said, real niggas, you ain't gonna find out that way. Like, you're not gonna find out like that. So he said men that do that, they have a problem similar to having a corn addiction, right? And he said it out his own mouth. When men decide they're gonna like some influencer girl's pictures and leave comments or be DMing her, it's because they're hoping that they get a response and they get cheat. They're going out of their way, even if they're talking to some random regular girl that's fine on Instagram. They're going out of their way to be thirsty. Like, it's one thing if you feel me, you meet somebody, they cool. Like, say you are out at the club and you just could not resist yourself just throwing it at you. You feel me? That's one thing. It's a whole nother thing when you are looking for bitches to cheat on your girl. And my dad was saying too, for the girlies, women don't have the urge as much as men, and the circumstances are usually different. But he was basically saying that it is natural to cheat. Like, you ain't gonna be with somebody for 40 years and neither of y'all cheated before. Or y'all not even gonna be together for 10 years and neither of y'all cheated before. Even if it's like, you feel me, flirting with somebody or giving somebody your number or like getting too comfortable with somebody and you don't actually like sexually cheat. But he said it's natural because it happens. Shit happens. But when you're making an intentional decision to be with someone, you're deciding to not cheat. And you should be with somebody that you love that much where it's like you don't want to cheat on them.
Those are different things. Just FYI. Like, I think most of us will agree that like physically cheating and emotionally cheating are different, first and foremost. Secondly, getting too comfortable with the person looks different in different situations. Let's say, in your relationship, in that instance, you consider that cheating, so be it. Um, but it's not the same as sleeping with another person at all. It's not the same. Like physically, it's not the same. It's not the same thing. You know. Yeah, I mean, like, I can see that being more of like unintentional, you know? Like, I could see that being more like I really didn't plan, like, we were, she was the homie's for girlfriend or whatever, sister, and we just were hanging out and I never thought about her like that. We never had those feelings. I've never, what I mean, we were just cool. And then I started, like one day we were talking and I was like, damn, I really like her. And that was when now what you do after that, you can check it. I'm just saying, like, just that moment of like, oh shit, I like that person. Like, that could be unintentional. That could not be something that you were like, I'm planning on liking her. Like, okay, let's say I give you that. Okay, fine. But fucking somebody, not unintentional in any circumstance. It's not unintentional. You are intentionally fucking that person. That's just it's just a different thing. And her father, like, grooming her to be abused in a relationship with a man, although wild, not uncommon. Men do this all the time because so many, like, I talk about, I've done so many videos on Dr. Umar. And there's this one clip, though, that I always reference about Dr. Umar where he literally says out of his own mouth, he would tell his daughters. Now, this is before I knew how shitty he was to his daughters, by the way. I thought he was like, actually had a relationship with his daughters at this time. But anyways, he had said that he would tell his own daughters that, like, you don't leave a man if his own daughter found out that her man was cheating, he would ask her, how did he cheat? Like, under what circumstances did he cheat? Was it just a physical thing? Because if it was that, I would tell her to forgive him. And I was like, what? Y'all are disgusting. So I've heard that from a lot of men. This story, again, this isn't like, oh my God, I can't believe that her dad is saying this to her, but it's still like just amazing, amazingly disgusting.
The first thought in your mind is, I do not want to cheat on my man. I do not want to cheat on my girl, regardless of what the circumstances are, right? But yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all. Oh, and one more thing. My dad also said you need to find you somebody who cares about what your insecurity triggers are. So if he is following a girl from his past, or Your girl is posting her ass on Instagram, and that makes you feel insecure because you feel like how you gonna get their way in, they gonna find their way in. You're supposed to do what makes your partner comfortable. My dad said if his girl said block a bitch, he's gonna block the bitch. Like simple, because simply he don't want to hear her mouth. It don't matter. And he said if it get too deep, he said he would delete the whole Instagram. He would just delete the whole Instagram. No argument about it, no none of that, because he don't want to hear it. And it ain't that deep because he loyal to his girl. He want to be with his girl. But he said it's always going to be a fight and an argument about deleting or, you feel me, blocking somebody or whatever the case is because they don't want to do it, because they don't want to cut ties with that person. So there's that on that.
Ma'am, your dad, you need to get away from your father. Your dad does not have your best interest at heart. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. I know you're a young woman and you think you just said my daddy a real one. He not. He a real threat to women, you included. Like that was mind-boggling how abusive that was. Your dad is a full-blown abuser. He can't be loyal to his woman talking about he gonna cheat every 2 years. That's not, I don't know what your definition of loyalty is. That's not being loyal. That's not being loyal. And you don't deserve that from any man, and you should not tolerate that. Because it sounds like you would tolerate that because your daddy is telling you that every nigga just gonna cheat. That's not the case. Plenty of men don't cheat. Plenty of men have never cheated. I know men that have never cheated. Like I know. I know. Yeah. I know men that don't like just are like, yeah, I don't fucking cheat. I think it's fucked up. I wouldn't do it. I'm like, respect. Yeah. So that's crazy. Y'all daddies be y'all worst enemy. Y'all daddies be y'all biggest ops sometimes, man. Our daddies be ain't even y'all, our daddies. My daddy is my biggest op. So yeah. The best thing some of us can do is stay away from our goddamn daddies and cut them off. This is how daddies get cut off. When y'all be wondering why daddies get cut off, it's because of shit like this. Cause I ain't nothing to cut a bitch off. What K Camp say? It ain't nothing to cut a bitch off. I cut that nigga off in a heartbeat, which I did.